cute little cat things, bunny things, and little hamster things going. Or maybe you do. I don't know what you're into. But, um, so, yeah. So this has just been, yeah, so this is the recap of stuff that wasn't on this 42-minute fourth day thing, which is really long. But Cowpoke has a visual style that's, and also Creech Moron, same guy. Also has a visual style that very kinetic. I had him do the Robotech, Transtech things because there's just a certain flair, certain je ne sais quoi about it, and it just does it on the fly, and yeah, the Artist Alley gets their little pictures in here. And although the Cal Cat Show blog is local and not really famous, it does get a lot of traffic. So even though we don't have a lot of subscribers, but like and subscribe to the Cal Cat Show, it'll get bigger and bigger. And and then that one, other thing isn't the first time that someone hasn't been famous. I mean, it could happen. Some of these people could hit the big time. The Winter Twins had started out with their book thing. They were at the book thing they published and self-published and did stuff. And now they know McCaffrey's son, and they have a book deal with an actual publisher, and they're actually semi-famous now. The Winter Twins. The Chalk Twins were a local thing too. They're known as well. They have also become other twins. They've become famous. Let's see. So it happens. Some of these con people become famous. It's trippy. There's a couple of the pop bands, J-pop bands that come out there and do their little yakuzas. Yeah, those guys, they're Yummy and whatever. They're famous. Yeah, they do the pop band stuff. That was a lot of fun because at one point one of the lesser ones went down on the floor and they were doing all kinds of stuff down there with all the con people. It wasn't the official group, but it was an unofficial group down there. And I jumped in and did some too. Taught them something they didn't know, which was the butt spin. They were doing all the other ones with that. That's old school stuff. They didn't know about that. Yeah. But yeah, they didn't know about that. The spin around thing. You just spin around. It's a sit and spin, basically. Yeah, there used to be a toy that did that. Yeah, and it was a common break-in two thing back in the day. Yes, yeah, so that's what this whole thing kind of is. It's a big commercial for the Cal Cat Show. Big infomercial. And yeah, they are a little long, but hey, why not? I'm not being paid to do these. I do them for fun. Like that lady said about her artwork, she does it for fun. People come in and say, "What's your angle? What's your pitch for your show?" She said, "I didn't really have one." How about she just talks to the guy that did Black Sad? Whatever happened to him? No, actually, he'd be too dark. She should talk to some of the Disney guys, see what they say, and then talk to the Nickelodeon guys, see what they say. It might be a good Nickelodeon show. I would watch it. Sort of like a SpongeBob crossed with, like, Thundercats or something. SpongeBob crossed with Finding Nemo crossed with a little bit of maybe Johnny Test thrown in there. A little bit of Fairly Odd Parents maybe. But it also has sort of a Steven Universe vibe going on too, a little bit. Eyes and stuff. So it's a little bit like that too. Steven Universe, I haven't really seen much of it. I saw like 3 episodes. But it already goes there anyway with the whole Slash thing. It already is its own Slash. So. Well, I figured why not? Which would beg the question whether it would be artsy Slash of my stuff, and would I actually write it under a pseudonym? Oh yeah. No, Ooh. If it's literally fluidly well written and the character development matches the characters, it's probably some slash that I wrote of my own stuff. We'll see. It's like, is it canon that those two captain guys in that ship actually had a gay interlude? Well, yes, it is. Oh my. And those other two female ones? Yes. Especially the cat chick. She's totally bi. She totally would do that. She would, at the drop of a hat, pretty much. It's kind of in the show. And in the furry verse of the Starcrackers, Prospectors, there's a pairing between a male otter and a female sort of, or it's a female otter and a raccoon guy. So, yeah, they got together, but that was straight. But it was animal anthropomorphized straight. Although the captain is clearly gay. And unlike in Star Trek Discovery, from what I've heard, and unlike in many of these other shows that have the gay couple, but then they have to decide, oh no, one of them has to go, like tragically. Like, no, they don't. They just end up not getting together because he's gay or she's gay. In the story, if I wrote a story like that, the characters doing the whatever, they just either don't end up together or they end up happily together. It doesn't matter. Because it's 2018. It doesn't matter. Oh no, the protesters will be all freaked out. How could you make a character that might be gay? Jesus didn't say anything about the gay. He didn't. Go read the New Testament. He didn't mention it. One of his apostles did. Oh, thou shalt not be married or burn. But what he meant was burn with lust. Well, what that one apostle was saying wasn't about being gay. It was that he was lustful and he didn't want to he was horny. So he's like, I don't want to be horny. So what he was saying. So yeah, that's not the same thing. He wasn't lusting after dudes. He was just horny, which is silly. It's like you're gonna be horny anyway. Anybody tells you, oh, he's addicted to porn. He's addicted to the internet or whatever. Oh no, it's like no, he's not. He's a guy. He's just a guy. Of course, there's certain unhealthy things. I'm not recommending you do that. No, don't do that. And there's plenty of girls that are into that too. It's not just guys. I mean, oh yes, and incidentally, speaking of Beefcake, of hilarity, apparently that picture that was shown in one of the art things, I think it was day one in one of the art gallery, and there was a picture of an anime character from Voltron. It turns out it was Deathlock from Voltron, and not Deathlock. It was the guy from Voltron. It was the bad guy, the drool commander dude from Voltron, the effeminate, froofy one, who even in the Japanese is effeminate. He's supposed to be froofy. They did that a lot in 80s anime. They would have a main villain character who was very even in later 90s Escaflowne and Starblazers and Robotech both had effeminate supervillain bad guys. Well, yeah, the guy from Voltron and Chiron from Robotech, yeah, and the dude from Deathlock from Starblazers, definitely. Battleship Yamato, definitely. All these guys were kind of effeminate, but they were like dudes, and they were the villain. So it's not good that they were the villain; they were vilifying them. But that it is funny that they decided that's a proper menacing bad guy is to make him sort of, oh yes, wild star, or whatever. Well, in Voltron's case, it would be, oh yes, Eric, yes. I want you. It was yes. It turns out he really, really wanted to get Voltron and send him robeasts. It's overcompensating. Turned out, I saw that lady with the picture again, and I said, okay, that's the guy from Volt. I thought it was Starblazers, but she said, no, a lot of them are like that. Yeah, Starblazers. So it wasn't Starblazers, it was Voltron. I said, oh, that's the dude from Voltron. Oh, yeah, he was totally, he was totally, he was it's canon. That picture is canon. There's probably a scene that was cut from the show in which he like showed up on a video screen like half naked with his shirt off, and he's like, "Oh, excuse me, Commander, I was in the shower. But do you like what you see?" Be like, "Oh my God." Oh, you blue-skinned male compatriot. Okay, he's got blue skin. Yeah, get past the sensors that way. Oops. Blue-skinned and well-oiled, I'd say. Oh my! These things, I've not read that yet. I have lots of business cards from artists, but the Hellcat show, it's not altogether. Yeah, it's not altogether out there, but some of it is. So you might watch this video and see some of those artists' names pop up on that video screen. I'm going to check that artist out. Next thing you know, that artist is going to be famous. Not because of the Hellcat show, but because of word of mouth. Somebody posted it somewhere. This looks cool, like that. Next thing you know, somebody shows up at Fanime who actually is in the know and says, "Hey, what's your pitch? What's your angle? I like this artwork. How would you like to work for studio? Doing a new anime show?" Yeah. And then you'd be like, "Oh, really?" And then you'd be hired. So it'd be awesome. So maybe I should have been a pitch man. I don't know. But yeah, you don't need to necessarily struggle with the big leagues if you don't want to. That's what I would say at the panel. It's like, okay, well, all this other stuff is really hard to do for some of these people who are like social people. So you don't do it that way. You get people that are in your same circle to do that, to help you out. Yeah, don't just shop around randomly looking for self-publishing sites necessarily, because a lot of them are going to rip you off. Don't do that. Do your research well and get your friends to help you out and stuff. But I don't recommend necessarily family members reading your shit, because they might hate it. I really don't. They're going to critique it too much. They're with cat ears. No, you were at the panel. It'd be funny if that one lady showed up there at the church. You were in the hentai panel. Actually, it was a slash fiction panel. The hentai panel was later. It was just slash fiction. They didn't really discuss anything. They didn't show anything. They just talked about Kirk and Spock and Xena and Callista, mainly. And it's like, so. Ew. It's like I was kind of quoting the lady from the last one. It was the same lady that was doing the panel. What, Xena and Callista married? I thought they were too. I thought that show was like really homoerotic. It's like, oh my gosh, are they girlfriends? Are they married? I just assumed they were. It's just like, you know what I also assumed? I also assumed that Bashir and Garrick probably did it at least once, just to see what it would be like. And totally Quark and Odo. Oh yes, totally. So Deep Space Nine, there was some kinky stuff going on, and not just evil Kira with Dax. She experimented. It happened. It's headcanon. Not just, it's evil Kira, so they were doing the anime thing. Evil villain has to be effeminate. What's funny about Escaflowne, though, is the evil villain guy who was supposed to be a dude turned out to be a chick in the last episode. Which is interesting. He was actually, the main villain was actually a, transgendered being. And he had changed her. She had changed herself into a man to appear more masculine to fight the Escaflowne robot thing. But actually, in the end, she revealed that she was, in fact, a chick the whole time. So technically, she was a girl. Unless you see the American version in which they kind of skirted past that and didn't show it. This is like, why? Now it doesn't make sense. Now it made it worse. It made it more like she's a transgendered cross that had received section. But no, he didn't. He was actually a girl the whole time. He was the king's daughter who was pretending to be a man, basically. Yeah, so that's what was going on. Now, in the case of Destlar, he was totally banging Voltron. Oh my, he was a man. Oh my. Psst, yeah. Psst. So Fanime doesn't turn anybody into a weirdo. They probably are already halfway there. No. Oh, yes. Well, and next year is the 25th anniversary of Fanime. Next year, Cat will be there. Possibly Mark's cards. Possibly our first panel. Yeah. It's going to happen. It could happen. It could happen. That would be awesome. And it would be awesome if the frickin' fire girl goes, brap, brap. Oh. Oh. I don't know what the fuck. Somebody pulled me. Somebody's a douche. Douche. Brick-a-tick-a douche. Actually, there was nobody really totally offensive at all. Really, there was nobody this time that was acting stupid. I rambled at one point about like songs, the millennials not getting it, but I stopped as he walked away. But it was nothing. It was nothing douchey. But so. And Star-Lord there, he looked kind of drunk, and that I was not at all doing anything. They probably thought I was. Anyway, so and apparently the hemp people have made a book compilation series 1 and 2 of the Legend of Cannabis 1 and 2. I did not buy that. I have issue 1 of The Legend of Cannabis. Mr. Hemp, or whatever it is. I didn't really do anything with it. It's somewhere. I think I might have given it to Dan. Anyway, Fanime Fanime and San Jose Comic-Con, Silicon Valley. Yay! And any other convention that might come around. Maybe there will be some actual Discovery people. There was no Orville people at this one. No Discovery people really either. There might have been one Discovery person. I think it was the Morlon or something. That was kind of cool. There was a Cardassian. She was annoyed that there weren't any Star Trek people. Cardassian. And pretty good makeup. She's all, why aren't there any Star Trek people here? Her husband, could be husband. He was a Borg, kind of. But he wasn't really a Borg, though. I don't think he was just a cyborg thing, and she was a Cardassian. Yeah, I think he wasn't a Borg. He was just some other anime similar thing. Yeah. I didn't know a lot of the shows, clearly. I mean, you totally have to watch this show about the... Yeah, there's too many shows to watch. Attack on Titan guy, and guy. Anyway, so, yeah. I've got it written down somewhere. Anyways, there was a Cowboy Bebop, and there was... That's old school. There was some interesting and odd characters. Yeah, and a lot of the ones with the hair, and that was a specific kind of character. And the whole cast was there at the end. The cast from the anime artsy thing. They all came downstairs and took a big group shot. Anyways, and Cowpoke did the Grease ending where it shoots up into the sky. Yeah, sure, he flew away. Right. Fanime. So this portion of the thing will not be, recap thing will not be that long. At the end of the I'll leave in stuff that was interesting. At the end of that won't be on there. End of everything on the train, there was, before the train stopped, there was a homeless crazy woman who was going on about someone was a bitch and slut, and it was trying to accost her, but there was no one there, which was funny. There was no one there. Don't know who she was talking to or what. Not talking to a Bluetooth or a cell phone. She was just insane. Yeah. And then there was a man sleeping on the train, a homeless man, literally sleeping on the train. Well, yeah, so there were a lot of people around downtown area like that. So there's issues like that. They're building some new apartments, but I doubt they're going to occupy them over there in St. James Park. Anyway, yeah, back to the con. I just thought to throw that in there. Yeah, the mentally ill are not properly cared for in the city as much as they should be. So, yeah, back to the and they are probably addicted too. They probably have addictions and other issues.